Hey guys, welcome back. I see a couple of you guys are following up, asking questions, DMs and stuff. So what I will do instead of going into ICC fully, I will just break down swing highs, swing lows, and why price might do what it's supposed to do in this concept today. I'll get the chart. So actually, we're not going to record on the Chromebook because that thing's bugging out. We're just going to do this on the phones today. So earlier today, I was explaining how this previous consolidation along the lines of here and here led to that gradual uptrend. And I explained how on an uptrend like this, let's say this is our indication, because we are on the 4 hour, that's a big indication right there. Hard to miss, strong indication since we're on higher charts. Now, anytime that indication, since it's an uptrend, would go down, the sellers would gain more power and the buyers would lose a little power. And it go boom, 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 etc. until the buyers, for example, right here at this high, didn't have enough power to push it up any further. And the sellers gained enough power to push it down. Hence the reason why it hasn't gone above this. It has respected this because the sellers we're sitting at this point full of power to push it down. Now when boom, powers gain a little, or buyers gain a little, sellers lost, buyers gain, sellers lost. But right now, it's just consolidation. So they're just equally gaining as much power as they possibly can together, right? But now since this was an uptrend, these buyers here are already at a disadvantage because they didn't have this much time to prepare like the sellers did, right? You get my gist here? So that consolidation is likely going to go bearish, which is down if you don't know what that means. And when that goes bearish, which most likely will happen, it will form probably not as sharp as this, but it'll gradually go down and down and down. And we might probably see a bearish trend for the next week or a week and a half in the 4 hour or higher time frames. Like last night I predicted that this would be bearish today, and I was right because of that consolidation zone. So what this tells me is that since the buyers ran out of power here, the sellers had enough power to force it into consolidation so they could gain a little more power to push it down, right? So originally on Friday, it went, the whole week, it went down, up, forcing that consolidation. Now, since it's respecting this line right here that I got drawn out, in this high, this swing high right here, always mark out your swing highs. That's the whole point here. In this swing low, it's respecting this as well because I need to mark this right here because this is where the main push happened, right? There is none of this. There is no down. It was just up. And then they ran out of power because that was the last they had. So I marked this, and I knew the market because it's been respecting this right here. So I know that buyers are sitting right here, right? And since buyers are sitting here, I marked it as my swing low in this consolidation zone, right? So this is 4 hours. It's a big consolidation, strong consolidation, since that higher time frame takes care of that, right? Takes care of that power. Now, theoretically speaking, since it's been consolidating for a while, and I'm going to hint at ICC here. You guys probably won't understand this, but ICC is basically, in this case, since it's going to be a bearish trend, down, up, down. Indications down, indications down, corrections up, continuations down, right? So this might happen, this consolidation might happen a little more, right? And you may be wondering, yeah, but like that's just how stocks work, up, down, But the thing that ICC has to offer is you can combine that supply and demand and price action concepts with it, making it a way stronger strategy than what you'd usually have. Now, since we have that power with the sellers, it's gonna go down, bearish, unless some crazy news pops up. That's why I always say, wait for news or if you really feel confident in your trading in news, go for it, right? If you know how Forex futures work, you know the file cases, you've studied all that, right? Most people trade in news anyways, not knowing what they're doing, and that little small amount trade in news knowing what they're doing, or their strategy doesn't revolve around news, which mine doesn't, so I can if I want to. I just don't feel comfortable doing it, so I don't. But it's gonna go down, might form a little one right here, but I think it's gonna respect this, and it's gonna form a lower high right here. So theoretically go down right here, maybe form a lower low around here. If it breaks this, that's when I'm gonna enter, but I think it'll go like this overnight, and then probably around right here, and then break that support right here. Once it breaks that support, that's when we enter. But I hope this made a little bit more sense. I'll explain a little more into it tomorrow. But that's just the base level of stuff. Take some notes from this video. You're going to need it for tomorrow. Have a good night. Sleep well. Bye.